Ferdinand Saves the Day by Anne M. Rossi. Illustrated by Carolyn Kroll. Ferdinand sat on a milkweed pod and flapped his wings slowly in the morning sun. It took longer than usual for him to warm up. The sun is rising later each day. There's a nip in the air. Fall is definitely here, said Isabella, stretching her wings up and out. It's almost time to head to a warmer climate and begin our great migration to Southern California, Henry added. Ferdinand sighed. I don't want to move. I just want to stay here in the meadow where I was born. This is my habitat. It has everything that I need. Here, I ate my eggshell as soon as I hatched. Here, I had loads of milkweed to nibble as a tiny caterpillar. I made friends with the insects. When I became a butterfly, I sipped nectar from the flowers. It is a fine habitat, agreed Henry, but it will be winter soon and far too dangerous for us monarch butterflies to stay here. Huge, wet flakes of snow fall from the sky and cover everything. The leaves will be old and rotten. What will we eat? Isabella shuddered. Can you imagine what snow would do to our wings? Snow would make them soggy. Then we couldn't fly. The bitterly cold temperature would cause us to freeze to death. That's enough to scare us into moving south. Maybe you're right. It is better for us monarchs to migrate to a milder climate, sighed Ferdinand. Cheer up, said Isabella. We'll come back in the spring. That afternoon, a chilly breeze blew in from the north. The butterflies huddled together and made their travel plans. They would head south in the morning. Ferdinand suggested they bring a map so they wouldn't get lost. Henry laughed. Don't be silly. We don't need a map. We're monarch butterflies. We travel by instinct. We just know where to go. The next morning, the monarch butterflies flapped their wings and rose into the sky. They glided on the breeze, heading south. By early afternoon, dark clouds gathered overhead. The butterflies couldn't see a thing. Suddenly, drops of rain fell, pummeling the monarchs. Gusts of wind whipped the butterflies sideways as though they were specks of dust. The butterflies tumbled through the air, screaming. Grab onto anything you can, screamed Ferdinand. He grasped a jagged rock as he brushed past it. At least, he thought it was a rock. When the storm cleared, Ferdinand looked around. To his amazement, he wasn't clinging to a rock, but to the side of a building. He looked down and felt dizzy. Hundreds of feet below him, cars filled crowded streets. He looked up and saw the skyscraper stretching toward the sun. He saw Isabella and Henry. "Where are we?" asked Ferdinand. "We're in a city," said Isabella. "A city?" gasped Ferdinand. "Where will we find food? I see cars, roads, and buildings, but no flowers. I feel weak. I need some nectar to get my strength back." Henry pointed. "I see a green place over there. Maybe we'll find some flowers there." The friends flew toward the green place. Soon they were flying above it. As they sailed over green trees and grass, they spied gold, purple, and crimson flower beds. They could smell the sweet fragrance of nectar. So they spiraled down for a dinner break. As they sipped, Ferdinand looked around. People of all sizes walked along well-groomed paths. Some of them stopped to look at spotted, long-necked animals nibbling leaves. Ferdinand flew over to a spotted animal. "Hello there, I'm Ferdinand," he said. "I'm Selma the giraffe. You must be part of the monarch butterfly migration," said Selma wisely. "It happens every year. The butterflies stop for a snack and take a peek around the zoo before going south." "Which way is south?" asked Ferdinand excitedly. "I haven't a clue," said Selma, and reached for a sticky leaf. Ferdinand flew back to his friends. "Guess what? We're at a zoo. Selma the giraffe tells me that monarch butterflies come here every year," he said. "Great news," said Isabella. "Did she tell you how to fly south?" "She doesn't know," said Ferdinand. "I guess I shouldn't have been so quick to judge you when you wanted to bring a map," said Henry gloomily. Just then, a voice came over the loudspeakers. "The zoo will be closing in 15 minutes. Please head toward exits." "What do we do now?" asked Henry. Ferdinand flew to a small group of people waiting at a water fountain. He listened to what they were saying. "What a great zoo! I wish we had one like it back home," said a woman wearing sunglasses. "We're lucky we have a zoo where we live," said a man in a baseball cap. "We're from Southern California. My wife and I are driving home as soon as we leave the park," added the man. Ferdinand flew back to his friends. "Hurry up! I know how we can go south." Quickly, the monarch butterflies followed Ferdinand. The man in the baseball cap and his wife headed to a parking lot. Ferdinand followed close behind. As the couple got into their van, Ferdinand and his friends slipped into the back seat. In the morning, they would be in San Diego, and the monarch butterfly migration would be complete, at least for this year. Responding. Target skill, cause and effect. What things caused Ferdinand and his friends to lose or find their way? Copy the chart and add details from the story. Write about it. Text to self. Write a personal narrative paragraph about a visit to the zoo. Include details about the animals that you might see there. What do they look like? What do they sound like? Focus your paragraph on one main idea. Target vocabulary. Breeze, dangerous, insects, judge, rotten, scare, screaming, sticky. Expand your vocabulary. Climate, habitat, migration, nectar, pummeling. Target skill, cause and effect. Tell how one event makes another happen. Target strategy. Summarize. Stop to tell important events as you read. Genre. Humorous fiction is a story that is written to make the reader laugh.